So we've got a concrete mixer, and we've got a wheelbarrow, we've got a hose. She's an electric one, so that's good. We've got half a cube here of builder's mix and about 100 and what was it, 180 kgs of cement. Because yeah, that one's fucked. We've had some sort of heavy rain, and there's a little pool of water on the top of this DPM, but we can tell it's all coming from up there, so we can still concrete onto that. We just need to fix that first. So we're going to put some water in and fill it up to, I don't know if you can see, but there's a little ring on the inside there. So fill the water up to that line, apparently. 5 shovelfuls of this, 1 of cement, 5 of this, another 1 of cement, and then in the wheelbarrow, and then we'll mix another one, so that there's constantly stuff being gone through. The builder I talked to that I borrowed this off of said that this is probably not enough material for the size pad that we want to do. Reckons that we might only get half of it done, but I guess we'll just have to see how we go. Right, so let's crack into it. So here's our first mix. It actually worked really well. Real happy with that. It got pretty heavy towards the end, so we ended up grabbing a prop to sort of hold it up. I think we put a bit too much water in though, but definitely a bit too runny at this point, but I don't know what to do about it. So we'll tip that in and then just make the next mixture quite a bit drier. We'll probably tip this into the main spot rather than that small bit. Okay. Now next challenge is getting that wheelbarrow up that tiny flight of stairs. I don't know what else to do. Don't know what else to do. It's going to make the job a lot harder. Gotta go to that far corner at the very least. Start from the hardest part to reach. Just wanted to say that as much as this trailer sort of looked like it was going to do it, and as much as it looks like is happening in the barrel, when it comes all flat, it really doesn't look like it's gone very far. But that's alright. Get a couple more barrows full in and we'll start screeding, I think. Working around that's going to be fun. and we'll just focus on this main pad. If we have to do this one a little bit later, that's all fine. Mum needs a trailer tomorrow for sheep, so we've got to get this done. Get this done today. Guys, that is one trailer load. Battery's dead for the light over there, so you're just going to have to bear with us. But yeah, we did get this piece covered, but we're still maybe, I don't know, 50 millimeters or maybe 25 millimeters in some spots, just too shallow. So while we got the area, we definitely didn't have the depth that I want. So we're going to have to go and find some gravel. That's all there is to it. But like one more trailer load should probably do this whole space and probably even that piece there as well. But yeah, so for now, I think I'm just going to screed this over one more time, get it a little bit more flat, a little bit more to where we want it to be. But like you see there, that's part of that reinforcing rod. That should be covered, well covered. So we just don't have enough. Yeah, and that's supposed to be level there. So no, we got to get more of that. Don't know where from. Don't know how we're going to manage it, but I guess got to have some trade secrets, eh? That's all right. Okay, onwards. Lunchtime. We're on to trailer number 2, which is awesome. And I went on the Regional Council website and saw that basically they were all good with taking from riverbeds, as long as it's certain riverbeds. It's rule, I think it was 29 of their environmental policies. That all the rivers are basically in flood, so that made it real difficult because we've had some real heavy rain the last couple of days. I was going to write just a little note to myself because I'm a council member, so I was like, all right, sweet. You're supposed to notify them in writing, and that was all good. I was going to be able to do that. But yeah, rivers are in flood, and West Roads is closed because a $16 trailer load is not a good enough reason for them to stay open on the weekends, which is fair enough. I get that. Totally get that. But also, if we just left this till Monday and just did another pour on top, we'd essentially have 2 layers, and then that would form a crack in between, and that's shit too. So like we're sort of between a rock and a hard place a little bit. But that's all right. We managed to contact a person that had a bit of spare left over, so we've got some sand. It's not quite the same. There's some slightly bigger rocks through it, but that's all right. So, get this underway again before family dinner tonight. Yeah, so this sand is way harder to figure out what's going on, just because it's like, it's just must be a little bit finer than the other stuff that we had, and didn't have like the smaller rocks. It wasn't really a gravel, it's just sand. So makes it real hard to tell like the consistency of it. Hey Emma. So it acts like a little bit of a Newtonian fluid as well. Like when you pat it down, it's like semi-fluid, semi-solid. It's sort of weird, but we're just going to add some more cement as we go, then the last mix, and hopefully it'll come alright. But also learning that it's like sandpaper on your fingers every time you try and scrape it out of the wheelbarrow, scrape it out of the drum there, just because it's sand and you're going between sand and metal, and yeah, fingers are getting very sore. Alright, so we're going to go to family dinner real soon. Got all these like tiny little cuts in my hands from scraping it out, and they've just been freaking stinging, I tell you what. But here's our surface as it is. Looks like there's a little bit of a dip there in the middle, I guess, but yeah. Trying to make it silky smooth, and then I've used a barbecue spatula and then a cutter in to do a line across as a bit of a control joint. But yeah, is what it is for now. When we come back later tonight, it's the last thing I want to do, honestly, but we're going to have to just take this magnesium float and just smooth it out a little bit. Just a little bit. So we are back again after dinner, and it's like 10 o'clock at night, and so this is exactly what we want to be doing. But it turns out, right, so there's this creamy stuff, I guess, on the surface, but we seem to just be making more making more issues than we're solving by touching this at this point. Which is weird, but it's mostly just because I don't really know what I'm doing. But I'm also aware that if I walk on this now, I'm going to make some really big footprints. So I'm kind of thinking, because I also just can't be bothered, which is a real shame, that we just sort of leave it like this. Like, yeah. See how hard it gets by tomorrow. Because, yeah, this is a lot of water that ain't going anywhere. This is going to be really slow drying down here, super slow, which is apparently a good thing, but it'd be real interesting to see if we put enough cement with the sand, because that top layer is nearly pure sand. Oh, so that was our day of concreting. We'll see you next time when we do a little bit more. Not sure what that's going to be. Peace. So, come back. There's a lot of water on it. So just a bit of a shame. You can see the rust leaching through the ground there, that iron deposit. And I guess we didn't actually put enough cement into the super sandy stuff, because I don't know if you can see those lumps, but it is sort of hard, but it's also sort of not. Not sure if there's anything I can do about that either. If there is, let me know. But the next thing we're going to do is establish footings for both of these to fill that in, and at the same time fill that in, because we've got another trailer load of the good gravel outside. But first step will be getting our forms in. So I'm going to take these two massive boards here. Separated them. There was dowels holding them together, and a little bit of wood on the surface of them, but they will be perfect for the sort of height and size that I need in there. It's a shame to sort of have to cut them down to size, but good planks. Forms are in. I've moved this up here because it's just going to be easier, and any slop that spills out we'll use to level this floor again. Just going to chuck that sand in with this stuff because the trailer's there with some more gravel, so that's all good, and we won't have to be wheelbarrowing up these goddamn stairs, so that's nice. Okay, that's fine. This, what can I do on this corner? Not much, but that should be fine, and that should be fine there as well, with a little backing board to stop any more spilling next to the wall here. So okay, into it and onto it. That's getting done. Another mix in the go. And it might be just remnants of that shit, but the sand is starting to clump and stick at the bottom of the barrel there, and not mixing really effectively. I don't know what to do about it. That's a bit late now as well. Just got to keep going. Another show tonight. I'm playing a dead body, Lizzie. Sort of looked like this. Yeah, it's been a good time. Just done another load and sort of vibrated and tried to pin this back a bit better. So that should hold. All the scraps on the floor is fine because I don't think I was very level when I started, but I'll do another load. I've only maybe got half a bag of cement left, so that should do that little bit. Fill that out, and then just whatever we can do. So hopefully it's probably only going to be another two loads of the barrow here, but it's alright. Just got to get into it and get stuck in. Concrete's in. Now it's got to smooth it out. That one's pretty smooth already, so it's just this main big one. And that's going to be a bit of a challenge. So, that's all cleaned up. The trailer is good to go back to help Mum with the sheep later on this afternoon. That's how much gravel we've got left over, but because I had to go to that show, I didn't get a chance to really even this out, and when I got home at like 11 o'clock, really couldn't be fucked. So, scraped it all down to sort of try and level it, but still not super happy with the result. You can see all the stone there. So I've just gone and got another 40 kg bag of cement. I'll mix that up in the wheelbarrow, slop it on, and then, yeah, just to sort of mix it in. But you can see how well these forms have turned out. Go through them. That looks pretty good to me. It stops just before the wall, just as intended. Could maybe have done a little bit more between this bit and that bit, but the bit that had been done was like this shitty little angle, so nah, that's alright. That matches perfectly on that side. It isn't level. Like you can see the distance between there and there is different, but meh, it's doing what it needs to do, and it's covering that steel up nicely and gives me a fairly flat thing to screw timber to when we do a workbench or something along there. So that'll be cool. That is cool. Right, better mix this and slop it on so we can start. A little bit watery, but it's alright. It's going to be a nice smooth surface. So that's the first pass with the float. I was using the steel trowel to sort of chip up the old stuff and sort of flatten it, and then the magnesium trowel, once I put this new stuff on, to push and actually flatten. So I'll probably come back in, I don't know, hour or two, and have another pass. Wait for it to solidify up again in a little bit, and then come back, and then 2 hours after that, come back again, and just sort of gauge how it goes over the day. But there's not a lot of heat, not a lot of drying capacity down here, so it be a slow process. It's supposed to be good for concreting, but not good for people like me who are sort of pressed on time. Still got all of that house to do up there as well, so onwards and upwards.